And welcome everybody to my channel. Let's just say that I'm not a pro and this is not a professional evaluation or assessment of the NC700. The reason why I'm making this video is for a very simple very simple explanation. I got this bike now about 4 months ago and it had 12,000 on the clock, or just over. It's got 15,000 now. I've clocked about 4,000 kilometers, or 3.8 roundabout, since I've got it. And the reason why I've done that is because I've made every attempt to put on all the mileage that I needed to put on to be able to give you all the information I'm going to try and give you at this point. The reason for this is because a while back I've had a number of motorcycles in the past, and one of which was a Suzuki SV650, a V-twin. I've had a V4 VTEC, a number of bikes. The V4 VTEC by Honda, the VFR, was the latest one I had, and I had a slight accident with that. No major issues with the bike, but certainly hurt my foot with it. But let's just say that at one point or another in my life I said that I would never be seen on one of these, or even own, or let's rather say the other way around. But anyway, I've managed to put the mileage necessary on and have had it long enough. I had one service done since then, and this has equipped me to be able to say that this motorcycle is definitely underrated by the motorcycling world. And if you have any idea what the motorcycling world really comprises of, and if you're familiar with it, then you'd understand this comment better. Now, motorcycles these days can go as far as 200 and odd horsepower. This is definitely not one of them. This parallel twin fabricates 50 horsepower or roundabout. Yes, it has huge amounts of torque and it pretty much tugs along like a tractor. That would be the best way to explain this motorcycle. But it has some novelties which the older bikes certainly don't have. And I would begin with the fact that it is very, very easy to maintain, very affordable to maintain, to the point where even the valve clearance on this engine is accessible. Very easy to do. No, I'm not saying I would do it, but you could pretty much get any mechanic to do that if they have the right equipment, the feeler gauges for that matter. Anyway, back to the commercial issues. The technicalities could get a little boring, but some of you would like to know a little bit more. Well, in this particular case, this one is a DCT, dual clutch transmission. I think you can see it there, and it has 6 gears which are shifted automatically. 2 modes, one a sport and one a normal, which to be honest, I don't think there's a real need to have those modes, but since the technology is available, they've included it. Everything is pretty straightforward. The radiator is exposed. It has a single disc. I stand to be corrected, it's I think a 12-inch, something like that. The back one is possibly a 10-inch. I stand to be corrected. I'm not here for stats, but just to give you an idea of how Honda has managed to keep costs down by using the same materials to make 2 discs. But back to the basics. Not the most attractive motorcycle you've seen in the world. In fact, it's one of those motorcycles that you can't quite tell if it's a male bike or a female bike. Those are intricate topics that I'd rather not go into, but what I can say is this would attract every person out there, excluding those that can afford the H2s, the Harleys, amongst others. So if you're on a budget and you really cannot afford your dream bike, well, I believe this is certainly that one motorcycle that you should have. The reason for that is because it serves the purpose. I don't think it reaches 200 kilometers per hour. I haven't had the opportunity to attempt that on a GPS, if I've ever seen anything, was about 170 kilometers per hour. It's not as tail tidy as you would like it to be, but the newer 750s are looking a lot more decent at the back. The shocks are straightforward, nothing fancy on the motorcycle, nothing expensive. There's no Olins or anything like that. It's all as affordable as possible. But as you can see, this is a very clean motorcycle, and the Honda has really come a long way in manufacturing a productive design that has come a long way. Now, the newer bikes are more road oriented. This one was intended to serve a multiple role of being on and off road, but as stats prove, this one has become more a commuter than anything else. The overall quality of the motorcycle is fantastic. In South African terms, 50k, that's rands, hardly any dollars whatsoever, can get you a second-hand one like this in very good condition with very little miles. And the 50 horses in this configuration will take you all the way with most guys in a real world, as some would say, as other YouTubers would have explained. You won't be that embarrassed. In fact, you'd probably be the one riding the most out of the entire brigade because you can afford to do so. Let's just start with the main aspects of this particular video, and the one which most impresses me about Honda is its loyalty program. Every time you shove the key in there and you turn it, this is no longer a cold start, this is a warm start. This bike has started this morning, but nonetheless it serves the purpose. The moment you turn that key on and you give it a start, needless to say, first click and it starts. In other words, this motorcycle will get you to your destination. Now, this particular bike has a standard everything, so it's not the best sounding exhaust. Some even opt to say it's quite an ugly can, as they call it. My opinion, looks pretty decent, but unfortunately it sounds like a sewing machine. I suppose it's still a motorcycle. It has a sound. But I've heard this motorcycle with other exhausts, and you know, it will never sound like an SV or a TL, but it certainly sounds a lot better. Guys and girls always want some sound coming out of the bike, but this one is automatic, so you know, inconspicuously you pretty much go around town doing what you want to do at any speed without causing major attraction. So this is one of those motorcycles that keeps the police away. Traffic department is not particularly excited about catching you doing all the wrong stuff on this motorcycle, but the reality of the matter is this does go the extra mile. And what I mean by that, this parallel twin and its configuration, combined with the weight of the motorcycle, the whole setup, chassis, etc. I think it's 3.9 k's to 100, 3.9 liters to 100 k's. That is fantastic. So that is certainly going to attract a lot of people in this day and age, even though motorcycles are considered to be toys most of the time. In this case, it's still a toy. You can still pretty much have some level of fun with this, but I would really associate this motorcycle with a practical, a utility vehicle that serves many purposes. Some of you would put beers in there. I put muffins, and other goodies. I might even put petrol, depending on how far I want to go without having to worry about petrol stations. These are tools over here, and inside here is the battery, which is easily accessible, which makes this for a fantastic setup. In fact, the new 750 X's and DX's DCTs come with an even bigger aperture than that. Certainly more voluminous. The petrol tank, you click the other way, and opens like that. I carry my license in there. Here's the petrol tank. Not the most expensive setup you've ever seen. In fact, very scooterish, but functional indeed. The petrol tank is very small, 12 to 13 liters if I'm not mistaken, but because of its economy you could quite easily get 300 k's out of this. So bottom line, if you're looking for an H2, this is not it. If you're looking for an easily maintainable motorcycle that's easy to clean, easy to maintain, easy to service, inexpensive to run, pretty much a daily commuter, a bike that you could even, over and above the weekend rides with your mates, you could take this all the way down to the Cape if you're in South Africa. It's about 1,400 k's. If you stop along the way somewhere to sleep over, I don't see a problem. Every 200-300 k's you stop somewhere to have a cool drink and a rest, and you are good to go. So there you go. There's my little video in defense of the little NC700. Particularly to my mates, this video was designed and created to answer some questions, not questions but statements made by some of my mates whom prefer the superbikes, which I don't have anything against. I find superbikes fantastic, but as I say, if you're a one bike owner, this is a very, very good place to start. So well done Honda, you've come a long way. This particular one is a 2013 700 DCT. You get them in manual as well, and you now have a 2021 design which is slightly lower. It's been configured to perform a little bit better on road than on off-road, which I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing, depending on what you want out of your motorcycle. Go look it up, see what you can find out about it, and you'll be surprised at the cost of these motorcycles compared to their competitors. Competitors meaning any other bike which is a 500cc or bigger. You'll find the prices here very attractive. Thank you for watching the video. If you've found this at all informative, if you're looking forward to even buying one of these, if you've ever wondered if this is worth it, well, I had a VFR, and here I am, as happy as I could be with this. And I might get a VFR again, but for now, this is my only bike. I will continue using it and enjoying it for work, for fun, for leisure, whatever you want to call it. Guys, I thank you for coming over. Please press like, support my channel, and I'll continue bringing as much content and as much information as I possibly can, whether it's the country, whether it's food, motorcycles, aircraft. I'll give you a bit of everything. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking, and please subscribe. Have a good one wherever you are. God bless. Cheerio.